Hello, today we are going to do the EX4 In Class Project. So get into SAM, download your Excel spreadsheet, download the instructions, make sure you rename your spreadsheet to an _2, and then let's get started. Step 1 is on the rental car worksheet or rental cost history. Add blue gradient data bars to the range I4 to I7. So I'm going to select I4 to I7, and gradient bars are a form of conditional formatting. So on your Home tab, you're going to go to Conditional Formatting, Data Bars, and then the blue gradient fill. Step 2, create column sparklines in the range H4 to H8 based on the data in the range B4 to G8. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and select H4 through H8, and sparklines are under the Insert tab. So we're going to go to Insert, and you will see sparklines are right here. You've got line, column, and win loss. So we want the column sparklines. So I'm going to select column, and you're going to get this dialog box that comes up. The location range is already filled in for us because we selected H4 to H8. Our data range, according to the directions, is B4 to G8. So B4 to G8. And then say OK. And you get your sparklines, your column sparklines. And basically all this is doing is putting a graphical way of seeing the way the numbers are. So in our cases, all of our numbers are increasing, which we would hope that would be the case for rental. But if it were something else, you would easily be able to see the ups and downs and the trends in a set of numbers. It just makes looking at the numbers easier. Step 3, add the chart title Yearly Rental Costs 2011 to 2016 to the clustered column chart using the above chart title option. Okay, so here's your clustered column chart. It's a column chart, and you'll see they're clustered into groups. That's why it's called clustered. So if you click in the chart area and you hit this plus key, you can choose a chart title. And if you hit the arrow here off to the side, you can say above chart, which is what we were wanting, and it puts the chart title there above the chart. And then if you highlight all that data where it says chart title, then you can type in yearly rental costs 2011 through 2016. And click out of it, and you're done. Step 4, add the primary vertical axis title cost to the clustered column chart. So again, we're going to hit the plus key, and we want axis titles. So here's your axis titles. You're going to click over here, and we want primary vertical. So we're going to click primary vertical so that it stays. And then right here where it says axis title on the vertical, we're going to rename that to say cost. Okay, step 5. In the clustered column chart, make the following adjustments to the vertical axis. Change the number format of the vertical axis to accounting with 0 decimal places, and then change the major units value for the vertical axis to 250,000. Okay, so the number formatting, we want this to be numbered formatting. This is our vertical axis. We want this to be number formatting. And we want it to be accounting. Instead of just a number, we want it to be accounting with 0 decimal places. So we're going to see dollar signs basically put into here. And then secondly, these tick marks are going every 100,000. Well, instead, they want those tick marks to be every 250,000. So that's what we're changing. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to actually click on the vertical axis. And I'm going to right click on it, and I'm going to say Format Axis. So I've got Format Axis, and down here at the bottom, you'll see where it says Number. I'm going to click the arrow, and it comes down, and you'll see right now it's formatted as a number. We want to change that to Accounting. So I'm going to change that to Accounting, and you're going to make sure that your decimal places is 0. Secondly, it says to change the major units value for the vertical axis to 250,000. So units is right here, major, and you'll see this is where the tick marks are every 100,000. Every value goes up by 100,000. So instead, we want it to be 250,000. And once you click out of that dialog box or hit enter, you'll see your vertical axis change. Now it's 0, 250, 500, 750, and then 1,000,000. So that was step 5. Step 6, add primary major vertical grid lines to the chart. So again, click over here in the chart, hit the plus symbol, and we want grid lines. So come down here to grid lines, hit your arrow, and it says that we want add primary major vertical grid lines. Obviously, you can see major horizontal is already selected. Leave it selected. We're adding, not taking away. And then select primary major vertical. And you'll see now our graph is in the form of boxes. Okay. Change the position of the clustered column charts legend using the bottom legend option. So again, I'm going to hit this plus sign where it shows me chart elements. And now we want to look at the legend. So down here, we already have a legend, and you'll see it's up there at top, but now we want it to go to the bottom. So just hit the arrow over here and select bottom, and it'll put the legend down at the bottom. Okay. Step 8, create a 3D pie chart based on the range I4 to I7. Change the chart title to Share of Rental Cost, and then move the chart so that the top left corner is in cell H10. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is create a 3D pie chart, and we want it to be from I4 to I7. So let's select I4 to I7. We're going to go to the Insert tab, and then you've got these charts. Let's go to the Recommended Charts, and we want a pie. So you got a pie chart, although that's not what we're wanting. We do want a pie chart. So if you go to All Charts, go to Pie, and we want a 3D pie chart. So this is what we want. We want it to look like this. And say OK. So it puts that in there. We're going to change the chart title to Share of Rental Cost. And then we want to move it. Now it doesn't say to resize, it says to move it so that the top left corner is in cell H10. So our top left corner, which is this right here, we want it to appear in this cell right here. So we're going to take our cursor and put it over the chart, click and hold it, and then drag it. The trick here for your grading purposes is make sure that your chart is not like right on the line, because then you might not get graded properly. Make sure that corner is really somewhere in the center of that cell H10, and then it will grade it properly. In the 3D pie chart, modify the legend labels to use the label text from A4 to A7. So we want to change our legend. So if you click on the legend itself, Then right click on it and say Format Legend, and you get this dialog box, and that gives us position, and that's not giving me the data. I'm sorry, it's not Format Legend, it's Select Data. So we're going to say Select Data. And you'll see here, this is what it's saying. Here is 1, 2, 3, 4. That's what our legend is saying. We don't want it to be 1, 2, 3, 4. We want it to be Cambridge, Waltham, Framingham, and Nashua. So I'm going to click Edit right here, and I'm going to select my axis label range. So I'm going to select A4 through A7, and then say OK. And now you'll see it puts those in there as our legend. Then it says in the 3D pie chart, make the following adjustments. Change the location of the chart legend to top. So I'm going to hit the plus sign. I'm going to go to legend and hit the arrow, and I'm going to say top. And then add data labels to the chart and change the label options so that the data label contains only the percentage. So I'm going to go to data labels. And I'm just going to select the default. If I hit the arrow, it selects the default. But now we need to actually change it so that it's a percentage. So click on your data labels themselves, and you'll see that all 4 of the data labels are selected. Then over here on your right-hand side, so that you can see where my cursor is, right here, it says Format Data Labels. We want to go to Label Options, and you'll see Value and Show Leader Lines is selected. We want to uncheck those and add percentage. So all we want to see is percentage. Step 11, change the location of the data labels in the 3D pie chart using the outside end data label option. So you can do that in 2 places. You can go right here to data labels under your chart elements and choose outside end. You can also, in this box here where it says Format Data Labels, right here it says Label Position outside end. So either place it does the same thing. Okay, step 12. On the rental cost projection worksheet, rental cost projection, create column spark lines in the range G4 to G8 based on the data in B4 to F8. Change the style of the spark lines to sparkline style colorful number 4. Okay, so G4 to G8, again the spark lines is under insert, and we want column spark lines. The data range is B4 to F8, and you say OK. And then here up at the top, you're going to see where it has the sparkline styles. And that's where we want to change it. So hit the down arrow here, and this very bottom one, fourth column over, very last row, says sparkline style colorful number 4. That's what we want. So select that, and you'll see it changes the colors to the green. Okay, use the quick analysis tool on the range A3 through F7 to insert a clustered column chart using the first clustered column chart recommendation on the Charts tab. So I'm going to select A3 through F7, and I'm going to do my quick analysis toolbar. I'm going to go to Charts, and we want clustered column. So that's what we're wanting right there. And it says move and resize the chart so that the top left corner is in cell A10 and the bottom right corner of the cell is in G27. So let's move it so that the top is in A10. And remember, just get it to where it's somewhat in the center and not right on the lines. And then we're going to resize it. The bottom right-hand corner is in G27. So that's what we want. Change the chart title to Rental Cost Projection 2017 to 2021. So click in the chart title, select it, and say Rental Cost Projection 2017 to 2021. And then add the primary vertical axis titled cost to this chart. So hit your plus sign. We want axis titles, primary vertical, and then rename it to cost. Change the major units value for the vertical axis to 250,000. So select your axis, and over here you've already got format axis open, and go to the chart itself, go down to axis options, and change that to say 250,000. Change the style of the clustered column chart to style 7, which is the 7th choice in the chart style palette. So again, here, if you'll see here, you have chart tools, and under chart tools you have design and format, and under the design is the chart styles. So that's what we're looking at. So if you hit your down arrow for the chart styles, you get all the different styles, and we want style 7, which they say is the 7th choice. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And if you hover over it, it's going to say style 7. So click that. That's what we want. Then in the 3D pie chart, so we're looking over here in the 3D pie chart now, change the font size to the title of the title to 14 points. So go to the title, and you're going to have to select all the text. And right here you'll see it's 18 points. Change it to 14. Then remove the legend from the 3D pie chart. So we don't want the legend anymore. So hit your plus sign and then uncheck legend. And then step 19, in the 3D pie chart, make the following adjustments to the data labels. Change the position of the data labels using the outside end data option. So data labels, outside end. And then change the label options so that the data label contains the category name and the percentage. So again, select your data labels and come over here to where it says Format Data Labels, and come over here to this Label Options, select Label Options, and we want percentage and category name, and uncheck the Show Leader Lines. So make sure it looks only those two are selected. And then change the data label number option to percentage with 0 decimal places. So under Format Data Labels, number, percentage, but change it to 0 decimal places. And you'll see it's got 0 decimal places now. And that's the end of it. Save your worksheet, and then close it down and submit it, and have a great day.